you ready?
Welcome to a very sunny Snetterton here in Norfolk for the season finale of the Performance Direct Radical Clubman's Cup. The overall title and winner of the Super Sports class has already been secured by James Abbott. However, in the Pro Sport and Club Sport classes, there's still everything to play for. The cars are obviously lining up behind me now, getting ready to head out onto the grid, but earlier on I caught up with some of the drivers. Mark Abbott and Mark Boot, just to make clear the distinction there. Mark Abbott, you're actually 26 points ahead at the moment, aren't you? You two are sort of neck and neck at the moment.
26 points is a bit more than neck and neck. I didn't know it's that many. That's good. But yeah, it's close, isn't it? I think we've always been well matched in whatever he's raced in. You know, club sports for ages. Then the PR6s were neck and neck last year. Been neck and neck most of this year. So yeah, see what happens. Yeah,
you have kind of just been swapping places there at the top of the table, haven't you? What's the strategy for you today, Mark?
Too late for strategy. I've qualified bad, so I can just I need a good start. And hang on to Mark, really. Hang on to his heels. See if he stays on.
I'll stay on.
And what are your hopes for next year, Mark?
Yeah, same car, same place. Quite a few more PR6s, I think, joining next year, so it's going to be a good class.
So Darren, returning for one final race here of this season and your last year's overall Club Cup champion. What made you come back?
Just had a bit of a lazy year and a little bit of interest, obviously watching the guys, and I thought, well, last event they wanted the trophy back, so rather than post it, I thought I'd bring it along and make up the numbers this weekend.
And last year was a fantastic year for you here with Radical, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a dream year, really. Finished every race, won 19 out of 20 in class. Puncher on the other one, otherwise I'd have won that as well, which is a bit of a shame. But no, it was fantastic. So, you know, I sort of did it all and had a quiet year this year, relaxing with the family, really.
But completely different to racing Radical, although you haven't done too badly today in qualifying. You've qualified 6th for race 1, haven't you?
Yeah, I had a bit of a mare yesterday. I had a uncharacteristic spin and ripped the floor out of the car. But today went a bit better than anticipated, but still 1.2 seconds slower than Martin in my old car, which has got a good pedigree, that car, to be fair. So yeah, it's not too bad, but I'm just making up the numbers here today, really.
And what are your hopes for race 1? I mean, you're qualified 6th, so you're in with a good chance.
I'm just hoping that my fitness levels hold up and I can keep going for the full 20 minutes. If it was a 5-minute race, I'd probably be okay, but you know, I'll try and make the best of it, so you know, we'll see.
And what's your car been doing for the past year then?
Basically, it's been having a nice holiday in a dark garage, and so put a new battery on it, and luckily it started still after 12 months. So, yeah, it's still going okay.
So Jesper, you've come all the way from Sweden over to the UK to race here at Snetterton. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's a really nice track, and the weather is good, and it's also great. And in Sweden, the tracks are much smaller, so it's kind of hard to go fast, but it's well okay.
Okay, and what series do you race in? Is it the Radical Swedish Cup that you race in over in Sweden?
Yeah, I placed 3 in the series, so it's pretty good. So.
And how long have you been racing?
3 years now, 4 next year then. And hopefully I get the new car and win the championship at home.
So Bradley, you've got a brand new SR3 here for the last race of the season. Has it helped to improve your qualifying?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a lot easier to sort of chuck about, and with the paddle shift as well, it makes it sort of a lot easier to attack the corners a bit more. So yeah, definite improvement.
So there's like basically a 6-year difference between the car you were driving for the better part of this season and this one here, which is a 2010 model. What's the main advantage to it for you?
Well, I think the most one being that we're spending more time on setup rather than repairing. We had sort of a few accidents and incidents with the other car. Hopefully we can sort of keep this one nice and fresh and clean.
And you qualified 7th today, so are you happy with that position?
Yeah, definitely. If we can sort of gain a few more places in the race, and be chuffed.
Paul, we're standing outside by your beautiful orange glittery car that you've only had for Anglesey in this race. How are you getting on with it?
Oh, it's great. We had a good result in Anglesey, a 5th and a 6th. I was happy with that. Yesterday went really well.
This morning, yeah, looking at the times, we did okay, but had a spin on the first lap, driver error, so yeah, I'm really pleased with the car.
And what are the differences you found in terms of performance with the new car?
Well, my other car was a 2010 car, so it's not a massive increase, but no, all, as a package, I think it's great. Build quality is great, yeah, and while it keeps going, I should be happy.
And you qualified 10th today for race 1, apparently out-qualified by your previous car, which is now being driven by Bradley Smith.
Unfortunately, yes, I have heard about this. I think youth and experience has helped on his side, shall we say that?
Full grid as ever for the Performance Direct Radical Clubman's Cup. James Abbott already the champion in car 74, but we've still got the Pro Sport Honours to be decided between Mark Boot and Mark Abbott. As ever, very sizable entry for the second visit of the year from the Performance Direct Radical Clubman's Cup to the Snetterton 300 circuit. Layout the drivers thoroughly enjoyed when they're here in June, and so plenty more of them will come out to play this time around as they take to the grid. Lively and exciting race, almost certainly guaranteed, as we always get from the Radicals. So we've got on the front row of the grid Martin Brooks in the 27 car, who often can be seen to go away well, as does Darren Anley. We watch the start from in-car with Richard Stables, away we go, a stall there from Bradley Smith, who gets collected from Andy Cummings. Cosmetic damage only, I hope, there for Andy, everybody else cleanly through. They surge on to Richards for the first time in car with Simon Garmston, who gets clouted from behind. Around he goes. See it from the angle of John Morris. A couple of cars spinning in avoidance, but hopefully no damage done. Everybody will be back out into the race. Has Simon found a gear? Yes, he has. So he rejoins the action. So David Frankland, I think, was possibly caught up. Well, no such problems for Bill Henson. He is there in the midfield, just on the tail of Gary Baxter, racing in to a rapidly luring afternoon sun. On Snetterton 300 circuit through Palmer goes Bill. Right, in car with Jennifer Ridgway for the start. We see the way Joe flags, we see a stationary Bradley Smith, and we see Jennifer taking to the grass. It was Timothy Lyons who moved across to avoid Bradley Smith, leaving Jennifer Ridgway nowhere to go. She rejoins, just a little bit lower down the order, but ultimately no harm done. In car with the recovering Simon Garmston. He moves to the inside and goes past Ian Charles in his Club Sport, or does he? Another moment there for Simon Garmston. It's proving to be one of those races for him. Jennifer Ridgway, though, is making a bit of better fist of her recovery up through the field, as is Andy Cummings, who is on a bit of a charge here, is Andy. Which we want to see. He'll be frustrated having been delayed at the start like that, and will be looking to pick his way up through the order. Into Williams we come, and then accelerating on to the Bentley Straight, one of the fastest sections of the Snetterton 300 circuits. Jennifer going to be able to get that place back, not so sure. Right, back to the head of the field, and it's Martin Brooks who is leading the way from Jesper Westerholm, with then Darren Anley, the pole sitter, in third position. We go in car with Jesper as he closes in on to the tail of Martin Brooks, streaming through, complete the lap. It's Martin who's just got the edge. At the moment, at the head of the field, the car's making wonderful sight as they complete the first lap of the race. There is Jennifer Ridgway coming under a little bit of pressure from John McLeod in the Stankham car. John McLeod goes past Jennifer Ridgway as he recovers, having been caught in the early exchanges. And then Simon Garmston, who has had a very adventurous lap one of the race, rounds out the field. James Abbott, meanwhile, busy improving his position. Bold manoeuvre into the hairpin of Montreal, immediately repassed. That's possibly Mark Booty was trying to slide through on the inside. A little bit difficult to tell with the low sun. The drives all got tinted visors. As Jesper Westerholm makes the move on Martin Brooks, or does he? Into Coram Curve. It's good driving there from Martin, just leaving Jesper enough room. But around the outside goes Darren Anley. He takes both of them and goes in to lead the race. What a fantastic manoeuvre there from Darren Anley. One of the moves of the season, I think. Around the outside at Coram Curve, a corner the drivers had said was too difficult to overtake on here on the new Snetterton layout. Martin Brooks, though, looks as if he may have just squeezed back into the accelerator up towards Riches, and then Jesper Westerholm looking as well to reclaim second. He's there to the inside. Are we going to see Darren Anley appear around the outside? No, we're not. So, well, despite that move through Coram, Darren Anley, having briefly led, is now back. Well, I was going to say into third. He's already moved back ahead of Jesper Westerholm to go second, as he will then try and elevate himself up past Martin Brooks. John Morris just being passed by Tony Wells, who goes off. I don't know what the problem is there for Tony. He has a little bit of a spin onto the grass. Very uncharacteristic error there from Tony Wells. He's really been one of the stars of the season. As Andy Cummings continues his recovery at pace. Tony Wells looks to rejoin. Now, is he going to go into the pits and get that car checked out? No, he's not. He will continue on his way. Bill Henderson having a good battle amongst the Pro Sport runners. He's really been to the forefront of the class all season long. Tony Wells is able to just begin to carve his way up through the pack a little bit, as Martin Brooks has slipped now behind Darren Anley. So Brooks is just dropping back as Steve Burgess is going very well, trying to get past Tobias Larsson. Here is the battle of the marks, and it's Mark Boot who's just got the advantage over Mark Abbott at the moment, although Abbott in fairly hot pursuit of Boot. Don't forget, still battling out for the Pro Sport Championship honours, as this man has led for much of the race. It's been a great drive from Darren Anley. He exits Murray's for the final time, accelerates up to the checker flag, which is unfurled. It's Darren Anley who wins race 1 of the weekend, with Jesper Westerholm claiming second. Third goes to Tobias Larsson, with Steve Burgess in fourth, John Eriksson fifth, and James Abbott rounding out the top 6, with Mark Abbott having seen off Mark Boot. And it's Abbott who has the advantage after race 1. Mark Boot, a late retirement, is really playing into the hands of Mark Abbott. He will be delighted with that. The drivers out to celebrate on the podium. Martin Brooks getting his bubbly. Jesper Westerholm, a very warm round of applause. And then our race winner, Darren Anley. It's been a super drive from Darren. He gets the handshake and the bubbly from Alex Shaw of MSVR, and the intentions of the circuit photographers.
You're still shaky though. Congratulations on your win there, overall of the Supersports for this race. How did you do it?
Well, I didn't stall the start, which was definitely a bonus on Anglesey. I had an okay-ish start and managed to keep everybody but I think the first 2 Pro Sports next to me behind me. Just kept with them for a couple of laps, went around the outside of them at Coram. I didn't think that was going to stick, but just managed to hold it. But they got me back on the straight. And I don't know where I got them back actually. I think I got one coming into the next corner, and I don't know about the other one. So, and then I just managed to build up a bit of a gap, hold it, but I couldn't shake him off. So yeah.
Congratulations, well done on your win there for the Pro Sports class. Was it easy for you?
No, it was really hard. The other PR6 was really fast, and it was hard on me.
And what was the main challenge out there?
The SR3. I'm trying to catch him, but it didn't work.
And how do you feel having won on your first race here in the UK?
It's really, really nice. I couldn't imagine.
And were the conditions good out there for you for your racing?
Yeah, it was really good, but it can be better.
Congratulations, Martin, winner of the Club Sport class today. How did it go for you today?
Well, I qualified real well and was second just behind Darren, but struggled a little bit for pace in the race today and really dropped back through the field. So a bit disappointed to not be challenging at the front, but maybe we can find something in the car between races and be closer to the front next time.
And I just heard you saying that it was quite a busy and exciting race out there. What were the challenges for you?
Well, cars being faster than me. I think I had about 20 overtaking manoeuvres done on me and back. It was incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing the footage on the film.
Well, what a fantastic result there for Jesper Westerholm, one of the Radical Sweden drivers who's over for their first taste of UK racing here at Snetterton. Really great result. He's come first in the Pro Sports class. We're going to go now and catch up with their team manager, Anders Gabrielsson. So, Anders, you brought 4 of your drivers over to the UK from Sweden. What was the reason you decided to come and race over here for the last race of this season?
Yeah, we stopped our series 2 weeks ago, and we thought it was a good end of this season to bring these 4 talent drivers, so to compete against the UK drivers. So we used to try to do that every year in some way. Last year we went to Radical Masters a couple of times. We thought this was a good date and good weekend to do this.
And is this the first time that a lot of the drivers have raced in the UK?
Yes, this 4 is the first time they are abroad to race. We have a couple of other drivers that are now doing the big series, Radical Masters. But this is the first time they are outside Sweden.
And they've had a fantastic result today in race 1, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean we had second, third, and 5th position, and then we had one that spun off. So it's a good result. We're really happy.
And these drivers are kind of going through the same ranks that drivers such as Per Staff Jr. have done as well. So what can they expect to go on to from this?
I mean, Per was driving my team last year, and we were winning the Swedish series, and then we were doing a couple of races in Masters, and this year it was winning the Radical Masters in SR8. So a couple of these drivers want to reach that goal also, to go out in Europe. That's the step. The Swedish work like this. We're doing this class in Sweden, and then we try to push the drivers out to Masters or higher series.
Okay, and how popular is radical racing over in Sweden?
This is actually the 10th year. We have 10 years anniversary this year with Radical in Sweden, and today it's the only class that still is a class after 10 years. All other classes will have changed, new cars, new types, but Radical have been 10 years now, and we have been between 11, 12 drivers up to the best year, 2006, we were 32 drivers, and now we are between 15 and 20. So it's a good class, yeah.
And am I right in saying that you travel with the Swedish touring cars in Sweden?
Yes, we have joined Swedish Touring Car Championship for 9 years. Next year, Radical will join a new series because the touring car splits to 2 next year in Sweden. So all the best drivers from touring car will do TTO. It's a Racing Solution F car. It's a silhouette car instead. And Radical are going to join this class as the first sport class. So we signed a 3 years contract with this series, and it will be really good. This series will be all the best drivers doing the big class, like Rickard Rudell, probably, I don't know yet, but Rickard Dahlgren, Volvo, BMW team, Göransson, Ekblom, all these big drivers will do this series. So it's good for Radical.
And will we be seeing you over in the UK again next season?
Yeah, I have plans for that. Even for myself, I want to start doing some racing myself again. So maybe we will join in SR8 for a couple of races, me, myself, and another driver. And I will bring the young guys also over.
Maybe we'll see you on the podium then. You never know.
Yeah, with a little bit more practice then.
So congratulations, Mark. You're now the overall Pro Sport Champion 2011. How do you feel?
All right, that's a nice way to end it. So completely hassle-free, uneventful, like I said earlier on, just didn't want any incidents, and that was the case. Mark got me at the start, and he said, he had a lot to do, but I thought, I just need to track him, and it's a done deal, but I think he was trying just a little bit too hard, and he sent it off, so that's a shame. But
yeah, you guys were having a bit of a scrap for a while, weren't you? So what meant that he had to come off?
I think my tyres went off a little bit, and I think he'd got about a second's gap ahead, and I thought, that's fine, we'll just live with that. And then I started to close it in again, so I thought, no, we'll try and take him. So I just managed to put him under a bit of pressure, and I think he just locked up and went off. Nothing serious, and it wasn't serious pressure. I didn't need the place, I just needed the points. So that's that.
Well, it's almost time for the start of race 2, and we're up here towards the front of the grid where you can see that Jesper Westerholm and Tobias Larsson are pretty near at the front, so it should be an exciting race for them. All of the championship positions have now been decided, but rest assured that there is still a very competitive edge out there, and everybody now has nothing to lose, so it should be an exciting race.
Thanks, Lucia. Last race of the season, always exciting, always plenty of overtaking, and actually the drivers look to leave a good impression with their sponsors and bank managers as they go into the winter and begin to build to the 2012 season. Cars heading out of the pit lane and on to the Snetterton 300 circuit. Drivers are just getting one last chance to make sure that everything is as they want it to be ahead of the start. Darren Anthony on pole position, alongside him on the front row of the grid is Martin Brooks. Darren Luke is going to be our driver who we will start with as we look to the gantry. Lights are on, revs begin to rise. How is Darren getting off the line? A very good start there from Darren Luke. He's going to gain a couple of places, in fact. So Darren Luke makes the rocket ship start, a clean start this time. Somebody a little bit slow away in the midfield, but other than that, everybody en route towards Riches for the first time. And then accelerates out of Riches and on towards the hairpin at Montreal. Well, Bradley Smith has got further this time around. He's looking to gain a place, possibly up the inside into Montreal. He can't because he's got a car immediately in front of him, so he holds station in the 21 car. Jesper Westerholm already pulling away at the head of the field as John Morris makes the move on Gary Baxter into Montreal. Is he going to gain the position? There's Gary to the outside, that's Simon Garpston right in front of him, and John Morris, I think he just about got through as Steve Burgess is busy defending from Darren Luke as they break into Agastini. Darren's got the track position here. Steve Burgess though has got the aggression around the outside. He holds his place. It's good driving from Steve. Fair but firm. He gave Darren Luke racing room, but not an inch more. So Darren able to squeeze through, unlike John Morris, who does gain the place on the brakes into Agostini. John, good to see him back in the championship and really putting in a very fine performance this weekend at Snetterton. And Darren failed to get past Steve Burgess, and now it's the turn of Steve Burgess to try and gain places just up ahead of us, and I think he's going to go through there and has squeezed through. He gains the place. We try to follow him through with Darren Luke. That's a great shot as we go side by side at Coram and gain the position. I think it's one of the Swedish drivers possibly who we were picking our way past there, Tobias Larsson it was. So the place gained for Darren Luke, Simon Garmston and Mark Boot accelerate through to complete the first lap of the race, surging across the line come the field in the Performance Direct Radical Clubman's Cup final outing of the season, as Peter Ashton has just got the advantage there over Tim Porter in the red 53 car, back in car with Bradley Smith. We look to the inside, and do we go through? Yes we do. Place gain from Bradley. Not true, well, we rehearsed that last time around, but on this occasion he does it textbooks fashion, gains the position, which he then maintains through the left-hander at Palmer. Accelerate then out of Palmer and on towards the hairpin at Agostini. Bradley Smith not been close enough to challenge the car in front, although he gives it considerable thought. That was late not to miss it more than anything else there from Bradley Smith. He didn't gain the place, almost did. Certainly worth the try. The car in front had been caught napping and he would have squeezed through. Again, the sun coming down with go in car with Bill Henson. A spin ahead of us from Timothy Lyons. Is Bill going to be caught in that? Just a little bit. And yeah, I think Bill can feel aggrieved as Timothy Lyons recovers right in front of him as they both rejoin. I don't think there needs to be a reader of international sign language to get what Bill Henson was suggesting there to Timothy Lyons. Somewhat frustrated. In lead the race though, it's Jesper Westerholm driving away ahead of the pack with in second position Martin Brooks. And Brooks not fading as he did in race one, and then Darren Anley is the next man up in third position in car with Darren Luke as he closes in still onto the tail of Steve Birch. He's been trying to get past Steve all race long. He's also got the champion James Abbott right on his tail, and James looking to further his position up through the field to end his year on a high, currently in sixth position as they streak through. Tim Porter goes wide and goes around at Murray's. The novice driver Tim Porter should find a gear and rejoin without too many problems. It's easily done there at Murray's. You run out wide as we see James Abbott doing, and James super slow motion across the grass, up he goes, down he goes. A little bit of a bumpy ride as out of the final corner comes the race leader Jesper Westerholm. It's been a great drive from Jesper. Checker flag goes out and he claims the win in the final round of the 2011 Performance Direct Radical Clubman's Cup. Second place eventually heads in the direction of Martin Brooks. There's Martin with third to Darren Anley. Step up on the rostrum for Jesper Westerholm. He is the winner and will celebrate with the champagne and bubbly. Drivers celebrating. Very fine end to what has been an excellent season of Radical Clubman's Cup racing.
So congratulations, well done. You've come over and completely stormed this race.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race and everything was brilliant, especially the start that made the race.
Can you talk me through your race? Did you have any challenges out there? It seemed like you were just ahead of everyone the whole time.
Yeah, it was a not easy race, but it was a fine race, clear race. But when we come gap with the guys in the back, it was pretty hard to pass them all at the same time, but it worked okay.
And how about your car? Is it performing well today?
Yeah, it was been pretty good, but a little bit too hot in the tires, but it's okay.
So congratulations, Martin, another podium finish there for you. Talk us through your race.
Well, it was. I made a really bad start, and it's the first time an SR3's beaten me off the line. So Darren got a rocket ship starter for an SR3, but one of our Swedish visitors, the winner, he got a fantastic start. And then it just settled down into a steady race, and I was holding Darren, which I was pleased about, because normally the PR6s kind of tail off towards the end of the race as the tyres go off. But I managed to hang with him and managed to get some pressure on him, closed the gap, and then he made a couple of little mistakes. I got past him, and then once I got ahead, the back markers helped me, and I got a gap, and then I was bringing it home. So really pleased to get second place, because the first race was a disaster.
Darren, congratulations there, another podium finish for you. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, it was actually a slightly better start, and I think I managed to hold on to second rather than go all the way back to third this time. But yeah, I just couldn't hit my marks, couldn't hit the. I couldn't get my braking points right. The car was a bit slippery, and so yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get back in touch with Jesper, and I had Martin breathing down my neck. Albeit from a bit of a distance. I spent too much time, I think, looking in the mirrors, and consequently he sucked me in, and then I just made a bit of a mistake at Murray's, and that was that. After that, it was a pretty uneventful race, really. So.
Congratulations, you've had a fantastic weekend, haven't you? And you're now Club Sport Champion 2011.
Yes, I'm absolutely thrilled. It's a fantastic way to end the season. It could have gone so wrong, but I actually managed to put it out of the bag for once. And under the beautiful Norfolk sunny skies, I've had 2 race class wins. So really chuffed with that, and that's got me enough points to take the championship for this year for the Club Sport class, so I'm absolutely thrilled. It's been an absolutely huge journey from race 1, completely petrified, no idea what's going to happen, couple of gravel traps.
We'll forget about that.
Yeah, but to coming this far, I've done sort of 8 new circuits. Loved every minute of it. Rain, sun, wind, Anglesey, and just really tried to get up to pace nice and quickly, chasing John Morris around the circuit for most of the year, and then finally getting a bit faster than him and taking the class wins. And a little bit of help from a couple of instructors, and really stepped on it, and really glad that I chose to get involved.
Yeah. Well, sadly, that is it for the Performance Direct Radical Clubman's Cup 2011. James Abbott is, of course, the overall championship winner. We do hope that you've enjoyed our coverage of the series over the past few months, and we hope that you can keep checking back here at Radical TV for more updates. We'll see you soon.